This is going to be your guide to using Decidueye in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So you can catch Decidueye because of Terra Raids, but it doesn't look like you're going to be able to use it in ranked battles for a while because Rule Set C only adds in legendary Pokemon, and we haven't really seen any changes to the rules in the middle of like all this stuff with new Pokemon coming out. So kind of weird, but at least you're not missing out on much. I was actually going back through my old moveset guides like, what do you do? What are you supposed to do with this Pokemon? Did it get any like cool modern stuff? Did it get any changes? Nah, Decidueye is still in a very rough place. So it's like, is that how weird things are for the Decidueye? That you max out the speed? Still need that adamant nature, I think. And if we go to level 50, we can see it also gets kind of weird because I've been saying like, okay, you want to hit around 113, 114 to be at the upper end of like bruiser sweeping bulk. So 122 naturally, yeah, you're just kind of like catching a lot of weird speed tiers. That's kind of where Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is. So, does 107 wall break? No. Can you get 107 wall breaking, or at least in like a good position against meta Pokemon? Maybe. So I wanted to like pull up what's going on with Pokemon battles. Fluttermane number 1, so as a ghost type Pokemon, we can somehow survive the Fluttermane and hit it with a physical move. It goes away. That's kind of decent. And then other Pokemon, we got dragons, so Dragonite and Baxcalibur kind of eat our lunch. Goldengo, at least it's a ghost-type Pokemon. Iron Bundle's falling in priority, and Dondozo is an issue. So how does Decidueye match up against them? What can we do about it? So we have Iron Bundle, Leaf Blade doing 91% and doesn't fit on the screen, which happens sometimes. And here's where things just get sad. So we have Leaf Blade not directly KOing the Iron Bundle because of that 114 defense, but a super effective, like non-boosted or itemized hit from a 107 Pokemon just not gonna like always KO super. That's really bad. Like Leaf Storm Tech, because if you just have it there for very specific KOs, maybe that's a thing. I was also going into the Fluttermane, so maybe like Sucker Punch over Shadow Sneak doesn't really have anything going for it. The reason why you'd want Sucker Punch is if they have a normal type Pokemon that survives with a Focus Sash, which is also like very not happening kind of stuff. You just come in, revenge, and then do some Decidueye things, but doing Decidueye things doesn't really mean anything. Spirit Shackle, at least that's going to be a KO because we have the 55 defense on a super effective hit. What about the Leaf Blade? I don't know, maybe we're like choice banded. And then like, okay, so if we do have a choice band Leaf Blade, it's not the end of the world if a Fluttermane comes in, except it kind of is, because Shadow Ball is going to be KOing us. So you have to like Terra off of Ghost. Yeah, let's just say like Terra Grass, just kind of see where the damage goes, and we're still taking a crazy amount of damage, even though we're like 100 special defense uninvested. So we're just kind of seeing the power creep here on a Pokemon that was never viable to begin with on Decidueye, and then it outspeeds us. So it's like the only time any of this can matter is if we're running the Focus Sash, but then that means we don't have the choice band, so we're actually down a lot of damage. And the Terra you get from the raid is flying, but I also don't see any value to like, oh, you go Terra Flying Brave Bird on a 107 attack Pokemon. You're just a regular flying type, like normal 50% stab 107 Brave Birding Pokemon. In Decidueye, it's always going to be taking hits first because of that 70 speed, so it's not like you're KOing anything with the Brave Bird pressure, you're just taking a lot of recoil. You can't use Sash, but you need Sash, and then there's really no crazy kind of follow-up stuff to it. So that's like the identity of this Pokemon is just so lost and sad, and in a weird way, I call it like 4 move slot syndrome, because there's really no good 4th move that like brings the Pokemon together no matter what you want to do for it. I was also looking at some other matchups, and I'm like, wait a second. There ain't no way Spirit Shackle doesn't KO bulky Goldengo and doesn't KO just Goldengo. But, I mean, we've kind of seen these numbers before, where it's like, oh, what's our damage analog? It's Silvally. How do you KO 95-95 uninvested? You need to go choice band. You need to have, like, a lot of high investment into it. I mean, I guess, like, we actually swing some of these numbers. So, I mean, like, Adamant Nature with the Leaf Blade onto an Iron Bundle if you're Focus Sashed. There you go, you get it. But it shouldn't be that hard. when you got super effective hits, like, it almost feels like Decidueye is bugged and has, like, 20% less damage. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, I'm using the super effective same type attack boosted moves, and it's not doing anything to any of these Pokemon. So, Spirit Shackle, like, alright. Adamant Nature, it stings, but the natural bulk, even uninvested, is too much. And that's kind of like the weird thing about Golden Go, is that they're all running, like, speed investment now. It used to be bulk, but then they start getting outsped and, like, speed crud by things. So now there's, like, more Scarf. I think it's 1/3 Scarf, and then we're seeing 40% Timid. So if you're going to be actually going Timid, you're doing that to go max speed investment. So now Golden Go isn't, like, something you're just going to randomly speed creep anymore. So it's like, yeah, even like this Golden Go, you're never catching it because you're 70 speed compared to 84 speed. It's got super effective hits on the Shadow Ball. And then the Shadow Ball is also weird. It's like, wait, how's Golden Go not KOing Decidueye back all the time? Now it also depends on the moveset. Like any kind of damage boosting, anything like that, Golden Go is going to win. And then it's like Timid versus Modest. So it's not one of those things where it's like, well, at least Decidueye beats Golden Go, since you're going for, like, Decidueye as an offensive Ghost-type Pokemon. No, it doesn't work that way, and, of course, it's going to be really sad if we look at something like the Dondozo. So, Leaf Blade comes in, it's nothing, and, like, okay, Choice Band as, like, some kind of wall breaker, but, I mean, banded wall breakers run a lot better in, like, the 130 attack than also have, like, other crazy gimmicks and just are stronger Pokemon that can also, like, Terra down into things. Do you really want to go Terra Grass, Choice Band, Decidueye, a 70 speed Pokemon with max speed investment just to one-shot a Dondozo for your super effective hit? And wait, that's actually not even an invested Dondozo. Okay, so offensive Decidueye is not going to work. Do we have anything else? Well, Terastallization opens up a new vector for this Pokemon because we can make Ghost-type Pokemon with Curse actually gain the stats, except that says illegal. What? So Decidueye got Curse on the Farfetch'd, and then lost it in its Egg Move pool, and didn't get it back, so now it's a transfer move. What? But it's not even like Decidueye was oppressive or busted because of Curse. Okay then, and it's not like... but if it was, yeah, I'm about to say, it's just straight up non-egg move anymore, because even if it didn't have any Pokemon that it could breed with, you don't need that anymore because of the Mirror Herb, so you just don't have it. So, like, the only thing that would be possible with this Pokemon kind of isn't, which is really stupid. And that was like, and then also, even if we had Curse, like, okay, what's our fourth move slot syndrome kind of thing? Because we have, like, Curse Roost, Leaf Blade, max hit points, max defense. So if, like, Tutor or this becomes available at some point in the future, consider it, because at least then it's decent, like 100 special defense, max hit points, full defense investment. Like, it'll do something. Also, Overgrow on the Focus Sash, because Long Reach just does nothing. So Overgrow proccing, also helping with some of those damage calculations, especially if we're, like, baiting into a Focus Sash. That's kind of it. Like, you're a 1-for-1, and technically plus because of a Sucker Punch or a Shadow Sneak, but still, like, very awkward to get to those points. And there's just, every Pokemon does it better by having more than 107 attack, more than 70 speed, or a better combination of natural moves. Long Reach, yeah, like, does not make contact. There's no really contacting threats. We're not seeing Rocky Helmet as common as we used to. And even then, Decidueye wasn't a gimmick where it's like, I've got my anti-Garchomp, anti-Ferrothorn right here. Nah, never worked that way. So it's something like that, minus the Brave Bird, maybe a Shadow Sneak, and then whatever other move you want for flavor. Knockoff could just be nice utility that helps you. Like, okay, you Focus Sash trade with something, you're faster than their bulk Pokemon they bring in, you knock off your 1-for-1 plus just like 80% of every other Pokemon in the game. This, like I said, like, you go Curse, Roost, Leaf Blade, not enough sap sipping to, like, be like, oh no, we only have Grass as our offensive option, but even then it's like, okay, then what? Like, knock off for the utility, Confuse Ray is kind of meme, but got nerfed, Double Team, probably the best after that. Those moveset doesn't exist, and that brings us to maybe Viable, because again, like, we have natural speed, so we're outspeeding, like, all the slow Pokemon. like I said, we can maybe find like some kind of speed tier, but at that point, we have to give up a lot to get into the 114, so take what you get. Maybe a little bit extra into the 70 speed tier kind of creeping, and then you go sub Nasty Plot. And it'd be funny if this actually beats like a Garganasalt or something, because like, oh, you just sub the Salt Cure, and then you can Nasty Plot behind it, and then you got Giga Drain, and maybe a Baton Pass, and then that's how you're playing Decidueye. Unfortunately, it does potentially take up a valuable leftover slot. Maybe it doesn't, and you go Citrus Berry, and you try to proc on that. Because like, if you actually get to the point where a Nasty Plot, Giga Drain, and we're not really giving anything up, we're still going to go Modest Nature, Max Special Attack. So like, a Nasty Plot Giga Drain to something's going to give you a significant amount of health back, enough to refresh a sub, maybe get another Nasty Plot onto a tanky Pokemon, and then if you have no other options, you can Baton Pass out. Maybe you Baton Pass the sub as well. You should put a couple Nasty Plots out there. But then at the same time, it's like, I'd rather just be running sub Nasty Plot Golden Go, because it's going to work in more situations, and it's going to be more successful in those situations. Alright, that's Decidueye, guys. Didn't really get much love in Generation 9, and Hisuian Pokemon aren't out yet. We'll be doing those movesets, and I guess that means now I have to like go back and do Cinderace, Charizard, and Greninja. Fun stuff. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.